This is the second video on deploying AngularJS, the first section called Setting Up. In this video, we'll be scaffolding our project. What that means is we're going to take a look at initializing both the manifest for Bower as well as npm to keep track of all our dependencies. We're also going to add a basic gulp task to illustrate how gulp works. Let's go ahead and create a directory for our project and open it in your preferred editor or IDE. So here we are. The first thing we're going to do is add a bower.json file to our project, which is going to be a manifest for our front-end dependencies. We'll do that by bringing up the terminal and running the bower init command inside our project. The name is fine, the default options are usually okay. And here we go, we should have a bower.json file. All the dependencies we install and save using Bower are saved to this file, so we can easily install dependencies in another location if needed, for example, on our deployment server. Now, let's do the same for our node dependencies. It's pretty much the same command, npm init. It also works the same way by suggesting default options. We'll use those for now. Generate our file, and here we go. We have a package.json file, which is going to keep track of our npm dependencies. In this project, those are going to be our build system dependencies like gulp, for example. Speaking of which, let's add gulp now by saving the module to the dependencies inside package.json. Type npm install --save gulp. This will save it to the dependencies in the package.json file, allowing us to install the project's dependencies based on the file's contents. Sort of like a recipe which lists the ingredients we need to cook our dish. Also, we're going to add a gitignore file to our project. As you can see, there is a node modules folder now. We don't really want to commit those to Git, for example. So I'm just going to ignore both the npm and also the Bower folder. Gulp is a build system, a lot like Grunt. However, Gulp is a streaming build system, which means that there are no intermediate files generated while building, increasing the speed at which your project is built. Compared to Grunt, Gulp uses code instead to configure the tasks. Lastly, Gulp plugins are usually really small and laser focused, making it easy to understand which part is responsible for what in our build system. We're going to add a Gulp file to our project and create a small task to make sure that it actually works. Let's go ahead and create a gulp file.js inside the root of the project. We're going to require gulp and we'll just create a task. Let's call it hello and say hello from gulp. There we go. Now we can run this hello task inside our terminal in the project by using the gulp command and then the task's name. In this case, that would be gulp hello. And there we go. It says hello from gulp, just as expected. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is add a source directory which is going to house all of our application code. We'll just start by adding a small HTML file with the title and just some body text as well. Let's say packed and hello deploying AngularJS. That'll do for now. Now we'll also add a small test directory as well. We're not going to use it yet, but let's just make sure it's there already. Let's wrap things up with a quick recap. What we've done in this video is adding the Bower and npm manifests so that we can save our dependencies. We've added a basic file structure using the source directory and also the test one. And we've also added a basic gulp task to verify that gulp works as intended. In the next video, we'll be taking a look at a sneak peek of the final application so that you know what we're going to build.